Are you ready to be unleashed and unstoppable?
Are you ready to experience a breakthrough and step into your next level of leadership?
Living a life of power, purpose, and possibility on your own terms, unapologetically.
This podcast is for discovering how to play big, how to be unleashed and unstoppable.
Through wiring inner success at the source as you step into your full potential as a wildly ambitious leader.
We are
Lianne Carter and
Carol Register. We are certified Master Neurocoaches and the founders of Unleashed and Unstoppable You.
We're best known for being confidence-boosting, neurohacking, productivity, and wealth experts.
And for high-achieving leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs.
Now let's be unleashed and unstoppable.
Hey, high achievers. We are so glad you are here today with us. We have some great news for you, and we are here to inspire you and guide you and help you to live the most abundant, most successful life you can possibly have. We are on this journey with you, and we love sharing the news. Today's all about celebrating and the power of celebration for our brains. And I'll tell you, I was burning out. I've had many burnouts and a very big burnout, which we'll speak about in another episode perhaps. But the thing is, I was constantly feeling like a failure. I was so stuck and standing in my way. I was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not getting it right. And celebration was not a part of my thinking. And if you're anything like me, high achiever, I was like, goal, done. Next. Goal, done. Next. There was no acknowledgement. There was no celebration. And there was a lot of focusing on the next problem to be solved. I was not thinking at an executive or leadership level. I was thinking small and I was playing small, even while I had big dreams. So we're excited to lean in and share with you some great news about the power of celebration and what it will do for you. And if you're feeling like a failure, Lianne, I'm turning it over to you.
Well, Carol, you spoke into something there which is so important for the listener to acknowledge and be aware of. You are a high achiever. And guess what? You're driven by achievement. So goal check, goal check, goal check is your way to experience the neurochemicals of dopamine, all of the neurochemical cocktail release of when you achieve something. And the reason why you take the time to celebrate is because honestly, sometimes just checking off the box is a great way to celebrate the micro wins. But what about the big wins? What about the big accomplishment? When you continuously drive yourself from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, guess what? It leads you to exhaustion. It leads you to burnout. Because the reality is you're most likely tying your worth to the work that you do versus looking at the experience, looking at what you accomplished, celebrating who you became in the process. And I know how resistant this can be. Maybe you've got a story around not feeling worthy to celebrate, not feeling worthy of acknowledgement. We see this so often with our clients. Just get curious. Do you have a story around that? Being able to just be acknowledging that and understand the importance and the power of celebration as a high achiever to help you become unleashed and unstoppable, to get you off that hustle bus is really, really important. So Carol, can you speak into, for our audience, the science, right? Our reticular activating system and why it's really important to understand this and our brain and neuroscience when it comes to achievement, when it comes to celebration, and why by the end of today's episode, we want you guys to be super excited for the action step we're going to be giving you, and you're going to be excited to celebrate your accomplishments.
That's right. And I feel you with that resistance that may be coming up around that. We have spoken to so many of you, our clients, who have told us, shared with us, I don't know how to celebrate. I don't have time to celebrate. Celebrate? Well, So we want to share with you that a part of the bonus that you get in jumping into the Diamond Transformation Program with us is all about the power of celebration. And you get a success map, a one-on-one with us, where we really walk you through an amazing, amazing vision prime and planning of your celebration. It can be as large or as small as you would like it to be. It is totally on you. So I just want to share with you the science, the RAS. That is the reticular activating system in our brains. And this is a system that when you buy a new pair of tennies, a new bag, or especially a new car, and you'll start to see it everywhere. You'll be like, oh, everybody has one of these. I'd never noticed that. You know, you get a Tesla, you start to see Teslas everywhere. So that's your RAS at work. It is what's allowing you to notice these things. It's going to work for you. And so when you get off that cycle that I was on big time, on that burnout bus, and I know Alex Lianne was too, where your goal check and no acknowledgement and feeling like a failure, you can really lean in to the celebration because you're putting your brain to work for you. Your RAS goes to work for you. And what happens, as we've spoken into, is that your brain is designed to keep you safe, not make you successful. And it's rewarding you with neurochemicals to stay safe. And to stay in safety for the brain means staying in what's familiar to you. So whenever we grow, and we do anything that we're unfamiliar with or is new to us or brings uncertainty with it, our brains are going, hold on, reward to stay stuck, because it's not in the safety zone for the brain. The brain is designed so amazingly. I want you to know your brain is working perfectly when it does this, because we have this beautiful, sophisticated, automated system. And we want it to be protected. What we get to do is rewire it so it stays protected and we keep growing and being successful and achieving the results we want, not only with time and money, but with creating the full, abundant lives that we want to live. So putting that RAS to work is really critical. And the way you get to do that is by leaning into acknowledgement and celebration, so that your RAS begins to recognize and look for acknowledgement and celebration. And you are rewarding your brain when you're in the discomfort zone, when you're out of that safety zone and you're growing. So it's providing wonderful reward. Go ahead.
So leading into, as what Carol is saying about the reticular activating system, your RAS, looking for that, what happens a lot of times with high achievers and what you might consider failure is that you start to procrastinate or you start to get distracted, maybe experience shiny object syndrome. Remember, your brain's wired to keep you safe and familiar. So your brain is finding ways that you might still experience achievement, like doing things that are not necessarily aligned to your goals and the results that you want to create. So then you have sort of what you could call a fake experience of dopamine, because you still get to feel good as you're checking off the things that you're doing, but it's
not the to-do list.
The to-do list, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily linked to the things that you are moving the needle forward on the most important tasks. So, for example, many of you may have heard this idea of eating the frog first. So eating the frog first really is doing the more challenging, the more maybe less enjoyable task that is required to move the business forward, to move the life forward, to move a project forward. And you might experience some resistance around that, probably some internal dialogue. I want to invite you to, first of all, celebrate that resistance, because that resistance is your brain talking to you, trying to keep you safe. And you get to celebrate it because it means you're playing big. So you celebrate the resistance that you're playing big. You eat that frog first, and you follow up with that eating the frog, that accomplishment, with acknowledging that you did it. Here's the thing, you acknowledge it, you celebrate it, you release the dopamine, all the neurochemical cocktail in your brain, and now you're fueled to do the next thing. A lot of times your brain's going to search for the easy, quick win, so it's going to go do the easier things. But as we said, the to-do list doesn't necessarily equate to moving the needle forward on the most important tasks. So you find yourself procrastinating, you find yourself getting distracted,
Overwhelmed.
find yourself feeling overwhelmed. Those are just ways that your brain is, again, protecting you, keeping you safe. So at the end of the day, what happens? You feel like a failure. You feel like you didn't get enough done. You feel unaccomplished. So then you go down the path of self-beat up. Versus if you're able at the end of the day, first of all, to recognize what you did accomplish. Be grateful, right? Practice some gratitude into the day that you did have, seeing what you were able to do, change the story, and being able to just start there, really. And we, of course, stretch our clients, and part of the action step that we want to invite you to do today is to support you in going to the next step, in creating that time and space to celebrate. And celebrating, I think this is important too for high achievers as well, is the micro wins and being able to build a new muscle around that, right? Yeah. This is what we're speaking into a lot, and we help our clients try to identify those automations. And yeah, celebrating is a new muscle that you get to develop, you get to build. But man, oh man, is it going to fuel your productivity, fuel your results. Yeah. You go to bed feeling accomplished, waking up more motivated, more focused, more confident, and you're going to be able to crush your goals and create the life and business that you desire so much more effectively and efficiently, versus feeling like you're kind of dragging your tail and constantly, if you listen to our last episode, we talked about tracking, feeling like things are not progressing forward. I want to call it magical in a way, because I too felt resistance around celebration. We see it all the time with our clients and even ourselves. I mean, it's so amazing having a business partner, because we really get to invite each other to pause and acknowledge and celebrate. It's not something you're used to. Your brain is not wired to celebrate. So please, I guess my invitation is to take us up on our invitation to celebrate. Take us up on accepting our action step today, and really know that you are worthy to celebrate. Know that you are worthy to acknowledge your success, and know that it gets to come from within you, not externally, but within you, to be able to pause and congratulate yourself, whether it's just a pat on the back to be like, I did it. I ate the frog first. Yeah. I made that phone call. I published that post. I did that live. I raised my hand on a coaching call.
I sent that email. Yeah. It took me forever.
Celebrate it. Celebrate and acknowledge yourself, because you are worthy. And that it truly makes a difference when you're wanting to become Unleashed and Unstoppable.
It's so true. And I want to wrap us up here with the fact that I love the way you speak into this, Alex, and the way that our brain works is a part of helping you guys, right? The action step, to be really clear, is that we want you to come up with 10 ways to acknowledge or celebrate with 5 minutes or less with only yourself. So we're taking that Pareto principle also that we spoke about yesterday, is all about, with the making 20% of your activities produce 80% of your result, it's all about small things bring big results. So we have a complication bias, and Alex, you spoke into the procrastination that comes up, the frustration, the overwhelm, and I am so guilty. Are you guilty with me of being on the busy bus where I'm not doing anything because my brain's keeping me safe? I am checking off a to-do list like nobody's business, and there ain't nothing happening. There's like, so this is all about getting intentional. This is all about your power to celebrate activate that RAS and put those 10 ways of acknowledging your self-worth. Break it down, make it a baby step. And we can't wait to talk with you next week again. We're really excited to continue to share with you the neuroscience of having the time and money you want off the burnout bus and working with the way your beautiful brain works. So love you guys.
Take time, right? Really think about 10 ways in 5 minutes or less that you get to celebrate you, your accomplishments, who you are, how you're showing up. It's not about necessarily accomplishing the goal either. Still being able to just take that time to acknowledge the efforts that you're making really will build this compound interest in helping you get there and create the results that you truly desire and want to create. So thank you for tuning into our another episode. Make sure to hit subscribe. And you can tell the excitement and energy that we have around the idea of celebrating, right? The power of celebration that really will help you stop feeling like a failure, because you get to acknowledge yourself. You get to recognize yourself for the work that you're doing, what you have done, the journey that you've experienced already, the success that you know is coming. And it's just a reminder to take time to celebrate you.
Okay. Again, we'll see you. We can't wait. Take care. Talk to you guys soon. We love you very, very much. And we are committed to bringing the transformation to you that you fully deserve. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Unleashed Unstoppable podcast with your hosts, Alexander Carter and Carol Register.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review and subscribe.
That's all for this episode, Wildly Ambitious Leaders. See you next week.